Previously on Relatable's Baddies Book Club.
She just starts stroking his dick with her hand, right? And he's kind of like, fuck, like, you better stop or else I'm gonna. And she's like, nah, whoa. This guy comes in his pants, bro. Holy shit.
It makes me so happy.
Oh my God, bro. It's insane. He full on just comes in his pants. She hops off him. And she looks back and she goes, quick off the mark, eh? Walks away. And he's like, fuck. Welcome to Relatable's Baddies Book Club, where we will embark on a journey reading some of the finest pieces of literature you have ever laid eyes, or ears, if that's your preferred way to consume a book, on.
Oh, no. A Court of Silver Flames.
Chapters 21 to 30.
And wow, this book, Jake, I feel like we say that every time, but
This book is becoming something.
my favorite
Really?
could be.
Aka War, baby? Come on, Aka War was good.
So, I wanted to bring this up to start. A lot of baddies are saying that A Court of Silver Flames is their favorite.
Yeah, and I know why.
And I wanted to ask you cheeky baddies, is it because of the plot or the smut?
Because here's why the literal reason that it's their favorite is this exact quote. Oh my God, it was huge.
Damn.
When she said that, bro.
Yeah. Can I tell a little story?
Yeah.
So I've been listening to the dramatized audio of A Court of Silver Flames, and I was getting my nails done the other day, as you do, and I had my headphones in, and it got to, I think, the first time they did it. We'll get to that. But it got to it, and like shit was going down the throat, and people were coming everywhere, and I was there, aroused, and I felt like I shouldn't be listening.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I doing?
I know.
I feel so naughty.
You're listening to porn, bro. You're
know.
listening to porn while you're getting your nails done.
And like, I was getting a little bit down there, and I was like, Cassian and fucking Nesta, stop it.
The first one? Wait, the first one?
Yeah.
When he goes in and he says, we have a debt to settle?
Yeah, dude.
Wait, bro, I said to Beth, I'm pretty sure I'm about to get to something serious. And she goes, wait, let me read it with you. We read it, and she goes, she was like, my pussy's pounding.
Oh, did she say that? Dude.
She was like, I feel something.
And I love how Sarah J. Maas, like, so Cassian, Rhysand, Azriel are like the epitome of men, but also so relatable when it comes to the bedroom.
Facts.
Yeah, like
I love that.
They're so good, but also so normal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
They have the size, but do they have the stamina?
Cassian does it.
Cassian certainly doesn't. We know Rhysand sometimes does.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I want to say that's really where this is headed.
So how are you feeling?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm starting to like Nesta a lot more.
Yeah, I am.
I like her a lot. She is a very insecure a being.
Yeah.
She's very insecure.
A lot of people were saying that, like, because we were hating on Nesta so much, like, her actions are justified. Mm-hmm. And, like, I think the Nesta hates granted still.
I think that Nesta hates granted. Yeah. You can see her reasons.
Yeah.
They start to be explained, her reasons for being so shitty and spiteful, but it's not valid reasons to me.
No. I can understand it, but I can't look past it.
Yeah. Same here. And that's, I guess, each to their own.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
I do find it jarring that she... I don't know. It jars me that the people that want to help her and the help that they have chosen to give her has proven to be working
Yeah.
are still the ones she hates.
Yeah.
The new friends that she's made, which is fair enough to like them, but I just think it's crazy. Yeah, and Cassian's the most patient motherfucker in the world, bro.
Oh, funnily enough, actually, I feel like it's relatable because this happened last night to me on a way smaller magnitude.
Oh.
So basically, Nesta doesn't want to take help from all the people who care about her, but as soon as a random comes in, she'll be like, we're besties, I'm going to help you, you're going to help me, we're the best friends ever, la, 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 la. Not saying Beth's a random and Cassie, but I've been asking Cassie to go to sound healing in Bali. And she goes, no, that's not for me. Like, I don't think that's something I'd like. And then Beth goes, oh, I think I might try sound healing. I've done it before. It was really good. Gave a spill about why it was good. And Cassie turns to me and goes, I think I might try sound healing. And I'm like, are you taking the fucking piss, Cassie?
Oh, that was funny. That was so
And she backtracked and I was like, yeah, whatever.
She was
lady.
like, no.
Whatever.
funny.
Fucking-
You didn't make it sound good.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh,
Had to
fuck.
come from someone else.
It did. It's kind of, grass is always green.
Yeah, legit.
All right. Chapter 21. So, we leave off of talking about the dread trove. And Elaine comes down and she says, we can find it using me. Chapter 21. Basically, Elaine is like, yeah, I'll do it. Nesta. No! Elaine's like, she goes to Nesta. Well, basically, so she says no. And then Nesta's like, well, the last time we did it, like the last time we looked for the cauldron and anything to do with the cauldron, it trapped me, but then it took you, Elaine. Like, and Elaine's like, you don't get to come and tell, you don't get to rip into me about living my slow life, wanting to garden, but then also say no to me wanting to do something.
Facts.
And I was like, valid,
Yeah.
fair. And Nesta's just kind of like, fuck. And then Amryn says to Nesta, well, why don't you look for it?
Yeah.
And
Good point.
And Nessa's like, I can't. I can't. And so, yeah, they're kind of, back and froing. And then Elaine's like talking about, Elaine goes, you keep on using my experiences with the cauldron to back up. Like, you keep using my trauma as your trauma. It's like, you are traumatic. You are traumatized by what happened to me. But it actually traumatized me. You don't think about that. And again, I was like, facts, Elaine. Facts, bro.
Elaine, yeah.
She was just spitting facts this chapter. It was crazy. And so Nessa's kind of just like shut her mouth now. And they leave the meeting. And Feyre goes down. Feyre... Oh, no. They don't leave the meeting. They're still in the meeting. And Nesta goes to Feyre, why can't you look for it? You're made. I know you're not made like us, but you still are made. Like, you can try. And she goes, I can't risk it. And then she goes, huh? She goes, I'm pregnant. I'm preggers.
Yeah.
Finally, we
Whoop,
friggin'
whoop,
understand.
whoop,
And
whoop.
Cassian goes, Reese, that's why you've got that shield on her.
Yeah.
That's why. Cassian's all happy. Everyone's cheering. Woohoo.
I do love Cassian.
I do love Cassian.
Yeah.
So they're all super happy. Nesta's like, congratulations. That's how I picture it. She's like this, congratulations.
Yeah.
So then they leave the meeting. And so obviously Feyre's not going to go doing that. So also, random thing to add, right? But so Cassian says, how far along are you? Reese is like, oh no, Feyre says 2 months out of 10. And then back to Nesta's POV sort of thing. She's told that, there's a lot of things different about humans and Fae. Fae have 2 periods a year and they suck. And also the length of the birth is different by 1 month.
Yeah.
What?
We just had to make it different and interesting.
I don't understand. 1 month.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Takes an extra month to grow their
Powers.
Yeah, their powers,
So,
their immortality.
then they leave the meeting. Asriel, Reese, Cassian, they hang back in the study. They're down at the river house, by the way, still. And then Feyre walks out with Nesta into the foyer and she's like, I'll wait with you until Cassian's done, and takes you back up to the House of Wind. She goes, I wanted to tell you that it's a boy. She goes, I wanted to tell you first. And then Nesta is obviously a bitch. And she's like, why are you telling me this?
But actually, also, she said, "How do you know?" And then Feyre tells Nesta about the carver. But also, they're believing that.
Yeah, also, I was thinking, that could have been your second child.
Yeah,
know?
he could have been putting up an illusion.
Yeah,
to
you never
show
know.
you what you want.
How do you know it's a boy?
We're just the bone carver was telling the truth.
Legit, he didn't tell the truth about some things, though.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't believe him.
I wouldn't believe him either.
Maybe it's going to be a girl.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I hope they're proved wrong. So And then, yeah, they leave, and Cassian and Azriel, they start cheering because Reese has told them it's a boy as well. And they're like, let's fucking go. We get to fucking have a little boy. They're
Yeah.
going to be uncles. Okay. Chapter 22, bro.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Starts off with Cassian and Azriel back up at the House of Wind in a sitting room. And they're talking, and Azriel says to Cassian, you know, do you think Nesta can find the trove? He says, I don't know. Azriel says she should try scrying. He goes, I don't think she'll be up for that. And then Cassian kind of puts an end to it by saying, like, I'm not forcing her to do anything, and neither are you, type of thing. And so then he does say that he's happy for Reese, and Azriel's also happy for Reese. And he says to Azriel, do you want kids? Do you see yourself with kids one day? And Azriel's like, doesn't matter what I want. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, fair.
Yeah.
And Cassian does say that he has stopped having to be a buffer between Azriel and Mor, because Azriel has stopped looking at Mor the way he used to look at Mor. And he's like, finally, after 500 years, maybe he's finally got the message.
You know why?
What?
Do you know?
I saw a theory.
Might be the same theory. We both saw.
My theory that I saw, do you want me to say it?
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
He was sus. Oh, no.
Elaine.
Oh, maybe.
You think Azriel's sus?
No.
You say he's sus?
No. He's sus on Mor.
Oh, I thought
He's
you meant
never-
Azriel was sus.
He's never actually loved her. He's
He's just
always just been
known.
keeping an eye on her like that and trying to stay close because he thinks she's hiding something like we do.
Oh, shit. That one's better.
Or he's been boinking Elaine.
But I was going to be annoyed. I was going to say to you, like, all 3 sisters can't go with those 3 men.
That's called selfishness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, come on. There's more people in Prithia.
That's called selfishness. And so Cassian goes on to say that he definitely wants children.
Yeah.
But then he starts thinking back to when Nesta... This is only the night prior that Nesta did this, by the way. You know, he's fucking stroking him up in the hallway, and he jizzes in his pants, and she's like, quick off the mark, I see. And he's like thinking about it, and he's still just thinking, how
That's my boy.
embarrassing. Embarrassing.
I love how he thought he had a debt to pay. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's like, it was my one chance. I better be able to, like,
Yeah.
repay my debts.
And so he just gets up. He says to Azriel, because Azriel's been the quote unquote chaperone. He says to Azriel, chaperone duties are off tonight. He walks to Nesta's bedroom, which is Cassian. He opens the door. She's in there, just wearing a kind of like a stringy thingy over, like she's wearing like a nightie,
Yeah.
like a nightgown, with just like her bare skin's out down to like a little V, and like it's like a silken nightgown, right?
I can see you pictured that.
Yeah, right. She's laying in bed. She's reading a book. She puts it down. She looks at him. He's leaning up against the doorway, and he's like, so, you know. And he just is looking at her. She's like, what do you want? And he's like, I have a debt to repay. I've got a debt to settle.
That's it.
Mm.
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck. And then he knows that she's keen because her nipples go hard. And so,
I wish it was that easy.
yeah, there's a little back and forth between them, right?
Yeah.
And then she's like trying to act cool, and he knows she's not acting cool, and he's waiting for an invitation. And so then she gets to a point where she's like, okay, we can do this, but it's only sex. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
And so then she says yes. She goes, yep. And he strolls in, swaggers in, door closes behind him. They start kissing, bro. Right?
Yeah.
They start kissing. Blankets are off. He still has his clothes on. They start kissing, making out. He's rock hard up against her thing. And then he like has a hand, pulls it up. He like realizes she's not wearing any undies. And he's like, oh my God, there's nothing in between me and her fresh flower or whatever. Bro. And then
I'm getting excited thinking about it now.
crazy, bro. They
What
start
a-
kissing. He like nightgown comes off. All right, starts kissing. He's like kissing her neck, gets down to her nipples, bites her nipples, bro. This is crazy, but it's like so in depth. Like,
Yeah. Where was this the rest
yeah,
of the series?
I know. Bite nipples. Rah, 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 rah. He gets down. He's kissing thighs. Gets down. Starts putting a finger in. 1 finger, 2 finger, pump, pump, pump.
Oh.
And she's arching. She's He gets down, and he kisses those lips down there, and he just starts feasting, bro. And then he makes her come.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "I want you inside me." And he gets up and he leaves.
Crazy.
Oh my god, bro.
That's why he's our boy.
That is what he's come to do. Two
Yeah.
can play at this game.
Good shit, Cassie. Yeah.
Bro,
Wow.
She was
Wow.
like a wet rag on the bed. She was like, oh. And he just waltzed out.
Way to leave her wanting more, eh?
And then obviously he goes on to say like, he had to have like 3 wanks again just to get, just to get over it. But he's like, he walks out the door and without looking back, he says, "Now we're even."
yeah.
It's fucking sexy, bro.
Good from Cassian there. Great from him, eh?
Okay. All right. Chapter 23. Azriel, so Nesta and Cassian are out on the training ring, and Azriel comes out to train. And he hasn't been training. And Cassian goes, "Oh, what are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, I just wanted to do some training before I got started with my day." And he's like, "I haven't seen you in here. Where have you been training?" He goes, "I've been training here, but just at night." And then Cassian's like, "Well, we can't sleep? What's on your mind?" And then Azriel doesn't really answer. And so Cassian shuts his mouth. But Azriel knows what they did. He knows what they did.
He always knows.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And so, then, oh my god, Cassian, Azriel's training, and then they're getting ready to train, and I think Nesta goes like, "Can you show me some fucking cool shit?" And they're like, "Oh, I mean, like," and she goes, "Yeah," and she's kind of referencing what she saw on the battlefield. She's like, "Can you show me what I saw on the battlefields against Highburn?" And then they kind of pause, and she goes, "Oh, it's not the same, is it?" And they go, "No, not really. Like, when you're out there, it's just it's totally different. You're out there with intent to kill." And Nesta won't be up to that for a long time. But anyway, Cassian goes to Azriel like, "Oh, you want to do some sparring? You haven't done it for a while. It's been a while since I handed you your ass." Apparently, Azriel's a beast though.
Yeah.
And so then they both take their shirts off. And Nesta's like biting her lip, bro. She's like, "Oh my god." And she's like frothing on Azriel hard, eh?
She's having the best time, and
Like-
she didn't want to come here.
No, bro.
Ah.
She's just sitting there. She's standing there watching. And so they're just standing there, and then they're like, "Hey, go." And so they're kind of just like circling, looking for a gap. And she's like, "Is this all it is? This is boring." And basically just like they're both so good at fighting that the first one to make a move is just fucked, right? Because they're just going to counter.
Yeah.
And so then Cassian goes, "What can I do here?" And he looks at Nesta shocked, and he gets Azriel to look. As soon as Azriel looks, he clocks him in the face. Azriel just blocks it. They're tussling. Whoa, wow, wow. They start whacking. They
So
punch.
cool, eh?
It's the sickest thing. And he says Azriel's like lightning fast. But Cassian's also just the best fighter in Prithian. And so they're going at it. And then they're talking about how they're so evenly matched that they could go for like a day or a week if they needed to. Like they both could. And so they stop for a sec and they're like back to doing like this. And he says, "All right," to Azriel, he's like, "Next one to land a punch wins." And Azriel goes, "No, fuck that. Like, I don't want you to be able to stand." Azriel's like always been apparently this type. He goes like, he just finishes shit.
Yeah.
And so then Azriel does the same thing to Nesta that Cassian did. So Azriel looks at Nesta and Cassian looks, he's like, "Oh fuck." And then Azriel just whacks him in the jaw. And then he's like, "Haha, I win."
Clean.
Clean. And then Nesta, bro, she's watching it and she's like, "Holy moly, this is crazy." Two of like the most apex predators in Prithian, they're going at each other right in front of me. And she's like, "I can't get these dirty thoughts out of my head." Yeah. She's like, "Oh, I wonder what it'd be like to have both of them pleasuring me at once."
I know.
And she goes, "I wonder what it would be like to have Cassian hitting it from the back while I've got Azriel's dick in my mouth." I was like, "What the fuck, bro? Oh my god."
It's like Sarah J. Mascot found her sexuality in this book or something.
I have a
mate.
feeling that by the time she was writing
Yeah.
this book, the AI edits of Azriel, Cassian, and Reese came out, and she goes, "Oh my god, I'm picturing them even better now.
Yeah.
Oh, what I would want them to do to me."
Damn.
It's crazy.
When I was listening to it, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. When I
I
read
think
it,
I actually listened to it twice. I was like,
when
really?
when I read it, I was like, oh my! I went like this.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god!
Are we
It was-
vanilla or is that what everyone was?
I think we're vanilla, bro.
Yeah.
Holy shit! It was crazy.
Yeah,
Man, she's a horny devil.
she is.
So, but then, cut to her working in the library. She asks Gwyn about the Dread Trove, and Gwyn doesn't know what it is, and she goes, and Nesta's like, yeah, it's a sentient thing anyway, and it's probably glamoured people to forget about it.
Yeah.
It's so old. We kind of learn how old it actually is. Like, it's so old that Amryn remembers it existing, but she doesn't remember it. Remember it, if that makes sense. And Amryn's like fucking 15,000, 20,000. She's old. She's been in Prythian since before there was courts. And so Gwyn, she doesn't know about it, but she says, like, I can look into it. I can ask Meryl if she knows anything about it. And then Nesta asks Gwyn about training. She says, look, it's just not for me. But, sorry.
You do you.
That night, Nesta's going down the stairs, the 10,000 steps, and she's making it pretty far. She makes it all the way to step 2,000 because she can't go to sleep because she's like, how do I get these priestesses to train?
Yeah.
And so she goes for a walk down the stairs and she gets to step 2,000 before she has an epiphany. And then they don't tell us what the epiphany is, and obviously I have to keep reading. Fuck me.
She's good at that.
She's great at that. Sarah J. Maas is good at getting me to keep going. Chapter 24. Clotho, the priestess in the library, she's in charge. She summons Cassian for a meeting, and he's like, the fuck? And she says, Nesta won't stop training while she's working, bro. And he's like, huh. He's like happy about it. And he's like, oh, yeah. Is it affecting her work? And she's like, well, no. And he's like, is it affecting anyone else? And she's like, oh, no, people stare. But I've asked her to stop and she won't stop. She's just standing there punching books. And so he's like, all right, look, I'll talk to her. Where is she? Goes down a couple levels. She's sparring these books. He goes over. You're dropping your elbow again. She's like, oh, fuck. Shit.
He's grinning.
Nipples are hard.
Back's arched.
Back's arched. And then she goes, no, I'm not. He's like, yes, you are. I told you earlier you're dropping your elbow. You're dropping it again. She goes, show me. He goes, okay. He helps her. Basically, he trains her. And as he's training her, he's helping her out. He's being super gentle. He's asking if I can touch you. May I? She says, yep. Boom. And then she gets it perfect. He says, that's perfect. You'd break anyone's jaw with that punch. And while they're doing this, a bunch of priestesses are watching. And then as Cassian leaves, he turns back and he goes, you fixed that this morning. And she goes, I know. And then he realizes what she did. That was her epiphany. She needs to show the priestesses that Cassian is a gentle man and he's good to train with. And then, and then that night there's a book in her room and it's about some random book and she thinks it's from the house because the house delivers books that are all smutty because the house likes smutty books as well. And the house delivers this book, but she thinks it's from the house and then it's about war. And she goes, what the fuck is it? Who gave you this? Why would you recommend this? And then the house drops a bunch of other books. These are the ones I would recommend. But Cassian delivered the war book and she read it. She said it was sick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. She said he's not just a brute. He's actually a genius.
Yeah, we found that out.
Yeah,
too.
we found that out.
How he studies war.
Chapter 25. So the next day they're training and after she finishes work at the library, she leaves and she checks her list once more of where you can put your name to come to training.
Who signed up?
And she doesn't check it often anymore. And she goes past and Clotho is staring at something and she goes, what the fuck? She sees her list, one name on it, Gwyn.
Let's go!
Our girl Gwyneth.
I got a good feeling about Gwyn.
Yeah, I like Gwyn.
Yeah.
So then next day, Gwyneth shows up to training and yeah, she has a good time.
She's really cute in my mind.
Same, yeah. I'm seeing. Is she a redhead?
I don't know. Is she?
They say what color hair she has, but for some reason I'm picturing a redhead. I don't know.
I've
why.
been picturing blonde.
You know what? You might be right. Anyways, Gwyneth is there training, and Cassian's like, sick. Let's get to it. Fucking oath. And so they have their training session, and then later that day, Cassian needed to go to Windhaven to do some business. And so he invites, what's he? Nesta.
Nesta.
She goes, I mean, fuck it, why not, I guess. Haven't seen Emery for a while. And then they're in Windhaven and she goes and sees Emery in her shop. That's the one that she asked about the leathers. And in there is like this big brute of an Illyrian guy, and Emery looks kind of disheveled. And he's just being an asshole. Nesta goes over. He's like, what do you want, witch? And he's like, I don't know, she gives him a stare.
He was
tells
drunk,
him-
wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was.
drunk.
Yeah.
Tells him to leave. You know, Emery's like, yeah, Bellius, business is over. We're good. Business adjourned. And he's just being a dick. And then he walks out and he goes, my father's office still stands. You know, he wants the shop. And then he buggers off. And so then Nesta's kind of like, oh, what's that about? And I don't know. So Emery inherited the shop from from her father, and Bellius is her cousin, and they send someone from their other family from a different camp every now and then to try and like scare her into giving them the shop.
I thought what was going to happen was that guy was drunk. Nesta was going to put him on his ass when he was leaving or something. He
I thought-
said something crude about being a witch, and then she would have went boom.
I thought that he was gonna like put Nesta on her ass because he threatened it, right? And she goes, "Do it." She's like, "You're not gonna like the outcome." And I was thinking, please put her on her ass. And then Cassian's like, "Who did this?" And she goes, "Bellius." And then
Shit.
Cassian goes, kills him.
I was even thinking like Nesta's like archetype after that would be like training like a fucking, even though she's already training an animal, and her whole
Yeah.
thing's like to go and kill this guy.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. He left. And so then Emery's like, you know, don't worry about it, and invites her back for some. Oh, she says, I can get you those warmer leathers, but they're expensive. Nesta's like, don't even fucking worry about it. I can't afford it. And then Emery invites her for some lunch. They are chatting. The lunch is boring, no spices, because Illyria just doesn't get anything good. And it's gross. And then she talks to Emery about training. She asks if she would want to come to training. She says, I have no means to get here, like to get there.
Emery's the one who got her wings chopped off.
Yeah, not chopped off, they're clipped. So
Clipped.
she has wings, but she can't use them.
Oh, it's I
They
was
get clipped.
thinking chopped off.
No, they get
So it's like
clipped.
how people clip their birds.
Yeah.
Wings so they don't fly away.
So they do a clip in a certain spot and it doesn't heal properly and they can never fly again.
It's
It's crazy. So Emery's like, no, why would I train? I don't need to do that. And then Nesta just tries to convince her, and Nesta leaves saying she's a coward. And then Nesta was like, shit, that was kind of mean. Anyway, Cassian, he then is at a meeting with Eris in the Stepes. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's the Illyrian Mountains. And he's talking to Eris about the Dread Trove. He's like, do you reckon your dad knows about it? He's like, nah, if my dad knew about it, he'd tell me. That means that Bryalan, the queen, is keeping stuff from my dad, which is good. We don't want him to know what the Dread Trove is. And then they're chatting. Cassian's kind of like, keep your mouth shut. You know, Eris is being a dick, and Eris kind of gets under his skin somehow, talking about like, he finishes off by saying like, see you bastard or whatever. And for some reason, it's like really gotten under Cassian's skin.
Yeah, it's weird. Eris, I thought, was getting better for a little bit.
Yeah.
In the 2 books ago,
Yeah.
and then he's gone back downhill.
I know.
He's like toxic again.
It's fucking sucks. I do still like him. I think he's
Yeah.
going to play a big role.
I think he will too.
But I think I like his character just because he disrupts things. I think that's why I like his character, not because I like his like personality.
Yeah, you're right. He does disrupt things. Eh?
Yeah, it's like it's fun to have something disrupt.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
It is. Chaos.
So, chapter 26. Nesta goes into the dining hall and she sees Cassian there with a glass of wine. And this is after his meeting with Eris. And then the glass disappears and she goes, oh, come on, you can drink wine around me. I'm not that bad. And he goes, honestly, it's the house. Under strict orders. No wine where you are. And then some water both comes up in front of them. And she's like, can tell something's wrong. She goes, what's up? And he goes, oh, no, I just had this meeting with Eris. She's like, oh, you know, tell me more. You know, she's like, tell me more. She's like twirling her fingers. And so he tells her basically, and he goes, it's just, you know, it always feels like Eris has the upper hand every time I speak to him. And he's like, I'm just sick of it. I'm just this big fucking Illyrian brute. I'm an idiot. And then she's like, I hate seeing him like this. Guys, oh my fucking God. She's like, I hate seeing him like this. What can I do to cheer him up? I would do anything to cheer him up, even for just 30 seconds.
That's all he needs. That's all he needs.
And then, so he's all like broody and sad. And so she leans over and she kisses him on the neck. Right? Oh my God, right? She goes over, kisses him on the neck, hand on the thigh, gives him another one, and he's like, Ness, what are you doing? And she's like, shh, please let me. She's like begging him, please let me. She's going, kisses him on the lips, and then gets under the table to where it on her knees. Bro.
I know.
All right? She starts undoing his leathers. He's like, Ness. She goes, please. Looks up at him, please. And he's like, okay, yes. Okay, obviously. Yeah.
He's like, I can't say no twice.
Oh, obviously. She's like feeling the bulge in his pants before she's undoing it. She pulls his pants down. She goes, oh my God, it's huge. How am I supposed to fit my mouth around that? Oh my God. Okay.
If I knew a girl was thinking that about me, man.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And so then she grabs it, all right? And he's kind of like, goes a little like reassuring growl. And she's like, how do you like it? And she does like a stroke and she's like this? And he goes, no. She does a little, squeezes a little tight and she's like this? And he's like, She fucking clamps down on this thing and she's like this. And he's like, oh yeah. Insane, bro.
Crazy.
Okay. And so, basically, she gives Cassian that Gluck Gluck 3000.
Look, yeah.
She puts her mouth around this thing. She just licks up to the tip nice and gently.
Yeah.
She puts her mouth around it.
Touch
It
the
hits
back
the
of her
back of her
throat.
throat
Yeah.
before she's even halfway down. She realizes she can't fit one, but two hands on it still. And she starts going, bro. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And she's like, she can tell he's holding back. All right? And so she's like, I need to get him to let loose. I need him to really release. And so she's kind of like doing stuff. And he's kind of like, oh. And she's like looking up at him. And he's looking down. And she's like looking up through her eyelashes. And she's enjoying it, right? She's like moaning and groaning like she's enjoying this. And so then he gets to a point where he like arches she's like going down to really deep throat him. And then he's trying to like go like
Tense.
he doesn't want it to go too far to hurt her. He knows he's got a schlong. And so then she pins his hips down so he can't move. And she backs this thing down her throat. And then he's like, oh my God. And he grabs her hair and she can tell he's just like let go. And he starts fucking my head.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? He's got her by the back of the head. She's going, whoa, 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 whoa. And oh my God, bro. And holy shit. So, yeah, she just is like, oh. And then he comes.
Yeah.
And as he's coming, he's like, fucking, my God, thy Ness, I am arriving. I am about to butter thy biscuits. And so he comes and she looks him in the eye and she just takes all of it. She licks her lips and she smiles. And he's like, oh my God. And he's just sitting there, dick out, like, oh my God.
He doesn't even care, eh?
And then he's like, get up. I need to be inside you. And so she gets up and she starts to like undo some shit. But then Azrael walks in.
He's like, my brother, the worst time ever.
And so he's like, oh shit. She sits down, he sits down, he walks in and he's like, the fuck? He's like, what the fuck? And so then,
He knew.
yeah, bro. He fucking knew, bro. So, Azrael comes in and she leaves. And then Cassian's kind of like, what's that about? Come on. And he's like, chaperone, remember? And he's like, fuck off. And he goes, and he's like, and then Azrael's asking questions. And I think Cassian I don't know what Cassian says, but then Azrael goes, bro, you just got a blowjob where I eat my dinner. I think I'm entitled to ask some questions. And he's like, yeah, fair enough. Chapter 27. Now, Gwyn has not found anything on the trove yet, but I believe she has asked the Merrill or something, the one she does work for. He's like a bitch. And Merrill did release the glamour, and so she's doing some research on her spare time. I don't know.
Is Gwen doing this on her own accord, or did Nessa ask her to?
I think Nessa just said, like, can you help me?
See what we can get.
Yeah, she's like, can you help
Yeah.
me? And She says to Nesta, is there any other way you can do it? Like, this is going to be a bit hard. And Nesta's like, knowing that she can scry.
Yeah.
She's like, no way. But she goes, yeah, cool. And then they go to training that day, and after training, Cassian, he's going to Windhaven. And so Nesta goes, oh, wait. I have something for you. Gives her a box. He gives Windhaven, plonks it down on Emery's desk. She goes, what's this? And he's like, it's a gift from Nesta. She opens it up. There's cylinders of stuff, containers of stuff, and she smells. She goes, it's tea. This is the good stuff. She gave her tea, spices, salt, pepper, everything. Emery's like, this is from Nesta. And she's like, however could I repay her? And he goes, she says, you can come to training.
Oh, damn.
And then he was like, she goes, oh, this again. She's like, I can't get there, you know? And then he goes, well, someone can come get you. You know, it's all good. I won't push, but the offer stands. Someone can come and get you every day. It's no problem. Basically, chapter 27 was a pretty short one, chapter 27.
Was there a bit where Nesta was like explaining, like, my dad used to run Spice and when he was a well-known
Yeah,
merchant?
that was when she had lunch with them.
Yeah.
That was when Nesta had lunch with Emery, and I left that out. She was
Yeah.
But sorry, in chapter 27, the next day Nesta goes to training,
Yeah.
and Emery is there.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Let's go.
Chapter 28. Emery, she struggles with training a bit because she hasn't done any, and she talks about like Cassian straight up goes like, "Who clipped your wings?" And she was like, "Oh, you know, my dad did it, and he didn't have a healer, and she fought back, so he did a sloppy job, and she can't even like extend them. Like they're always tucked in. She can't extend her wings at all because they're fucked." And so he's like, "If you ever want us to get like the night court, her name's Marja, like the night court's personal healer, up here, we can try and see if you can at least extend them a bit." She's like, no, don't worry about it. And then Emery and Nesta, they bond over liking schmutty romance books.
Let's go.
Because Gwyn's like, so you live up at Windhaven? And she goes, yeah. And she's like, do you like to read? And she goes, girl, I ain't got nothing to do but read.
That's all I do.
I would die if I couldn't read.
Yeah.
And so then Nesta goes, what type of books? And she's like, romances. And then Gwyn kind of like, you guys like romances? And they're like, well, what do you like? She goes, oh, I don't know, adventure. Or I read scripts from Meryl. And then Emery's like, well, let me just bring you an introduction to romance. Let me bring you an intro to romance. And Gwyn's kind of like, okay, I'd like that. And I was like, shit, Gwyn hasn't even left this fucking library for years, and she's all of a sudden jumping into this fucking sexy stuff.
Don't you think it's crazy how we're reading a smutty book about other characters reading smutty books?
Yeah.
It's like an Inception.
I love it. And then Reese comes to pick up Emery and take her back to Windhaven. She only had an hour. She could only give an hour because she had to go open the shop. And then Reese goes into Nesta's head, and she's like, because he sees Gwyn's there, and he's like, you are to treat Gwyn with respect and treat her nicely. And Nesta's like, fucking mind your business. And because he does like, he caresses her walls in her head, and she lets him in. And that's when he says like, you are to treat it with kindness. And so then Cassian notices that he's done this to Nesta. And then Nesta goes over and she talks to like Emery and Gwyn, and Cassian says to Reese, like, Cassian's like pissed at Reese. He goes, why'd you go on her head? What'd you say? And he's like, I just told her to be nice to Gwyn. And he's like, yeah, don't you think like, Gwyn wouldn't fucking be here if she wasn't being nice? He's like, why'd you do that? Like, just, you always think the worst of her. And then he goes, Reese is kind of like, yeah, you're right. Because right now Cassian says, Reese, right now you're a fucking threat to us all, right? You've got a baby on the way. No one's safe around you. Leave us alone. Next day, tomorrow when you drop Emery off, drop her off on the other side of the house. I don't want you and Nesta near each other.
Harsh but true.
Harsh but true. I was kind of like, yeah, Reese, you're a dick.
Assuming the worst of Nesta. Like, obviously, they look like they're pals. Why would you say that?
I know. Like, to be fair, that was a fault on Reese there. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Chapter 29. It's a big chapter, this one, right? So, Nesta is still attempting the stairs, and as of now, she doesn't even know what she's going to do if she gets to the bottom, but she gets to step 3000. And I think the whole stair thing is just like to show that she's improving. So yeah, it's like somehow becoming pointless, but it's just to show she's improving. And then next up, we got Cassian's down at the House of Wind having a meeting. Nesta's not there for this. And Amaran's like, we're running out of time. We need to find the trove. Nesta needs to try scrying. He goes, look, she's just not ready. I'm not going to force her to do it. And Amaran's just being a bitch, obviously. Amaran is a bit of a bitch, to be fair.
She has been the whole book.
Then Azriel... No, I think maybe Cassian or Azriel say like, why can't Elaine do it? We should get Elaine to try. And Azriel goes, no, Amryn says we'll get Elaine to do it. And Azriel goes, there's a darkness to the trove that I just don't think Elaine should be allowed to be.
Delve in.
Yeah. And then Cassian's like, what the fuck? Well, why do you want Nesta to do it? You know? And they're like,
She's evil.
really?
She's a witch.
You know, she's done it before.
Yeah.
And so then he gets all like mad. And Amryn's like still number 2 in the court. And so apparently what she says is like law. You can't go against what she says. The only person that can overrule her is Rhys. And Varian is there at this point. And Amryn's, you know, a little pocket pussy. And they're arguing back and forth. And then Amryn's like, all right, she has 1 week until she has to try scrying. Just 1 week to do it in whatever way she's trying to do it. And then they're kind of like, all right, whatever. And I think the only reason that she said 1 week is because she was being a bitch. Rhys goes, Amryn, fucking reel it in. And then Varian's kind of like, we spoke about this, Amryn, remember? We like to be nice to people. And she's like, whatever, just 1 week. Whatever.
Just a token offer.
So then we're down, Nesta's working in the library and Gwyn comes and finds her. And she goes, shit, Nesta, like, Meryl found out that you swapped the book for me all those chapters ago. I think I would have spoken about that. You swapped that book for me. And she's pissed. And Nesta's like, okay, what's she going to do? I don't give a fuck. And Gwyn's like, oh, okay. And then Gwyn kind of goes, yeah, but when Meryl's mad, she's kind of a... And then Meryl's behind her. She's like, I'm kind of a what? And then... Sorry, I'm not as excited. All the sexy scenes are done.
No, you still are.
And so it's like, I'm not a what? Gwyn's freaking out. And then Meryl, she's like trying to be rude to Nesta. And Nesta's like, bitch, I was born for this. She's like, go away. I don't give a fuck. You're like, I switched the book. Yes. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, I care because, you know, Gwyn's a fucking incompetent nymph. And I was like, what's a nymph?
I don't know what that is.
And then we go on to find out what a nymph is. So Meryl leaves. That whole scene was literally just like so Nesta could stand up to Meryl. Because Meryl's kind of like, girl, I am a descendant of Rabbath, of the wind god of the western ways or something. And I was like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, well, I feel like Sarah J. Maas has like been using, I don't know, is it a metaphor, the stairs, and like her development and trauma healing? There's so many different like intricate little things which are like breadcrumbing us to show she's coming into her own.
Yeah, agreed.
The most obvious one is the stairs.
Yeah, I would agree.
And like her standing up for herself is like she's getting confident again.
Yeah.
Like, blah, blah, blah.
I would have to agree with that. You're right. She's not just walking away from conversations.
Yeah, and she's not just
And she stands up for Gwyn.
Yeah, she stands up for good reasons
Yeah.
too. She's not just being a bitch to be a bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
She's
yeah,
standing on her business,
Yeah.
what she actually believes in.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And so then we find out that a nymph is Gwyn is the offspring of a water nymph who from the spring court that slept with an autumn court someone and she was born and raised in the priestess acolyte tower, whatever it's called. I forget what they're called. And she lived there her whole life. And then, like, basically, she doesn't know her dad. I'm pretty sure her mum's dead. I think her sister's dead from when Highburn raided. And she got, like, messed up.
Are priestesses the equivalent of nuns?
I think so.
That's what I was thinking.
I think that's what it's giving.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what we go to is that night, Nesta is... Oh, sorry, no. So, Nesta goes, fuck it. I'm going to try scrying. If Gwyn can overcome her fears and Emery can overcome her fears by training, who am I here to not fucking try scrying when I'm the one that got them to train? All right? Cassian's there. He's like, are you sure? Right? Are you sure? She goes, yeah, I want to try this. And so she tries scrying and she is really like she's really focusing on the trove, but she's got too much noise in her head. She can't do it. She's like, wah, 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 wah. And then she gives up. I can't do it. Cassian says, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
First go.
And then that night, she's freaking out and she's talking and she's like, oh my God, it's coming for me. The cauldron's coming for me. And she said that she knows it's coming, but she can't move. She's still on her bed. And she said she feels it in the darkness and the darkness is nearing and then it's above her and it's like it's a cloud of darkness. And then it just starts fucking her up, bro. Right? It starts fucking her up from the inside out, burning her. And then Next scene's Cassian, and he's like, he's like, I jolted awake. I grabbed my knife, and I didn't even know why. I didn't have a dream or nothing. I just knew something was up. He opens his door. He's just in he's in his trunks, his pajama trunks. He's got his knife in his hands. He goes down. He hears Nesta screaming. Azrael comes out, no, and he fucking bolts. Cassian bolts into the room. He's in there. Reese is in the room. He comes up. Sorry, no. He goes in. He's seeing Nesta, and she's surrounded and engulfed in silver flames. But they're not letting off heat. They're letting off cold, like freezing cold.
Very cool.
And she's getting destroyed, bro. And she's fucking. He's like, what is going on? Azrael's holding him back, like, no, you can't do anything. The windows shatter. Reese comes up. And this is where we see how like powerful both Nesta and Reese are. And Reese is there, and he's like trying to fucking like. It looks like he's attacking Nesta, but then he realizes that Reese is actually in there, like throwing blankets over, like blankets of his power, trying to protect her.
Yeah.
And he goes in and he's like, I've never really thought about how Reese is Daemati and so is Feyre, and I've never thought about how much help it can be in certain situations. And then Reese dampens down her powers enough, and he's like, she's having a dream. Like, he's like, Nesta, this is a nightmare. He's trying to get through to her. He's trying to get her to at least like wake up a bit. He's like, Nesta, you're having a nightmare. And Cassian's like, fuck. He goes to leap, and Reese is like, no. And then Cassian says, Nesta. And she like, whoa. And then Reese slips in Daemati style, and he like soothes her. He like really brings her back down. And he's like, he gets her back to sleep, right? And she's just laying there passed out. And he's like, all the flames are gone. The nightmare's over. And Reese stumbles back into a chair, and he's like, oh my God. He's like, oh my God, bro. Oh my God. And Cassian's like, what? And he's like, fuck, I knew about the trauma. I knew about what happened. But he goes, she was dreaming about when she went into the cauldron. And he's like, I just fucking lived and breathed every second of it. Bro, I got to see what it did to her and what she did to it. Man, she fucked that thing up, but it gave her shit. It fucked her up too. And he's like, what? And Reese is just like, oh my God, this is not good. And then he goes to leave, and Cassian's like, what is it? And he goes, dude, he's like, what is her power? And he's like, and Reese just turns around and he's like, death. Pure death is her power.
Shit.
And Cassian, like, Reese is afraid.
Yeah.
Fucking scary shit, eh?
Yeah, I know. It's like,
Oh, bro.
I was thinking, like, and how's that a power? Like, just
I know.
anything you touch
Yeah,
or just follows you?
yeah.
Leaving me guessing.
I forgot to add that there's another day of their in training there, and 3 more priestesses show up to training. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
But they're kind of
Minuscule
sides.
little
Yeah.
details.
All right. Chapter 30. Nesta's awaking from the nightmare, and she's like, this is the first time Nesta says something nice about Reese, by the way. She's like, she said that she kind of remembers her nightmare, and she remembers Cassian's voice, and then she remembers Reese slipping in and very much soothing her. And she's like grateful that he did that. And she's like waking up, and she goes on to explain how she like Reese is a very honorable man. Very, very good High Lord. But she just hates how fucking cocky and smug he is. And I was just like, that's just who he is. So is Cassian, to be fair. But
They all are, to be fair.
yeah. So she's waking up, and then she notices Cassian is sleeping on a chair in her room, and he's just like holding a knife. And then
Kind of cute.
yeah, and he's just watching her, and then she like wakes up, they make eye contact, and he just leaves. Crazy. You good? He's like, you good? Then they're at training, and she tells Gwyn and Emery about the nightmare. And they kind of just treat her like, yeah. They're like, do you have nightmares often? She goes, yeah. And then they're like, yeah, me too. And so she just is like relating to these people, and she like enjoys being with them. They're her friends.
Yeah, the bonding over trauma. I guess there's like safety in numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then Cassian's down at the House of Wind, right? And Reese has summoned him and Azriel. And
Azriel.
he's like, no, Reese goes, oh, like, I've got bad news, right? Reese goes, I have bad news. Yesterday was a bad, like, I think Cassian's like talking to him about Nesta's nightmare. And he's like, yeah, yesterday was a bad day, turned into a worse one with that. And he's like, bad day, what happened? And he goes, we had an appointment with Marja, with a healer, with Feyre's pregnancy. And she said the baby has wings. And I was like, and Cassian's like, wings? It's 1/4 Illyrian. How the fuck does it have wings? And he goes, well, when we conceived it, Feyre had shapeshifted into an Illyrian. And he's like, Cassian's like, I thought she just like shapeshifted the wings. And he goes, no, when she shapeshifts, she shapes her entire being into that thing, like to that species. So she was an Illyrian when they conceived it.
Reese is punching the air.
Yeah, I know. But Reese is like devoed that it has wings for some reason.
Yeah, well, I think it's giving birth. That's what I thought.
Is it because the birth will hurt?
I don't know. That was just what I was assuming.
For some reason, I thought it was something to do with like they have to now probably train him in the Illyrian ways, which they didn't want.
Oh, that's maybe makes more sense.
But yeah, so the baby has wings. And Azrael's like, yo, this ain't good. Once this gets out, bro, this ain't fucking good. And this is when he goes on to say to like, he says, we need to keep this like under wraps or something like that.
Maybe he goes deeper in both of those things.
Azrael says that they need to prepare for when Tamlin finds out about the pregnancy. And they're like, fuck Tamlin. Reese is like, if that motherfucker puts one finger in over my fucking border, he's dead. And they're like, yeah, but still, like, we need to prepare for when he finds out. And I was thinking, like, I didn't think he would care. But he might care.
I thought he was like over caring.
Yeah, same.
He kind of just groveling in his own pain.
And so Azrael basically just says, we need to take Lucian, put him in the spring court to be our eyes and ears. So that's it.
Yeah, shit. So, predictions.
My jaw hurts.
Yeah, sorry, you did a lot of talking, man. Good
That's
shit.
all right.
So I'm thinking 4 predictions. I want to predict what happens to Elaine when she hits 10,000 steps.
Nesta.
What happens to Nesta when she hits 10,000 steps? Why do they care so much that the baby has wings? It's got to go deeper than that because, like, I feel like training because they were training that way. I know it sucks, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's not that much to care that bad. Maybe.
Yeah.
And and what happens with the betrothed? Yeah, shit.
Okay. All right. I have predictions about... What was your first question? What happens with when Nesta... The steps. When Nesta finally hits 10,000 steps, I think she's just going to be like, I don't even feel like a drink, and she just goes back up.
Yeah, I think she will too. I reckon Gwen will help her get there somehow. And like she'll be like a little cheer squad.
Yeah.
And like that like safety numbers will like be overlapping theme to why Nesta becomes really good again.
Yeah, she needs friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the wings.
I don't know.
I think it's because they will want to train him in the Illyrian ways.
But
and he knows how hard life is going to be being the High Lord's son as an Illyrian warrior.
Could be right, yeah.
You'll have to compete in the blood right. It's dangerous. Everyone's going to want to kill him. They're all going to hate him because he is the High Lord's son, but he's also an Illyrian warrior. Same thing that happened to Reese. And he doesn't have anyone that's like Cassian and or Azrael yet, but we don't know if he will get that. Cassian needs to have a kid, bruh.
Also, going back to what we were saying before, that's right if it's a boy. I think the next book will be it's a girl, and the same problems will arise, but they're going to push for her to train as an Illyrian warrior, and she'll be the first one.
Damn, cool prediction.
Yeah, very
Damn.
cool. Just a then.
Now, Dread Trove.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it finds them.
Ooh.
Because Nesta's power is pure death. She's going to be rivaling Koshi, the guy that's stuck to the lake.
Yeah.
Who is also pure death.
I like that prediction a lot. And it'll find her, and then they'll do something to get it. Yeah. Good prediction.
Still got a lot of fucking book left
It's
to
a
read.
big book. It's a big book. I like it. And I think so her powers are death. I think whatever they do with the cauldron and whatever, the betrothed, her powers they'll give it back or something, and she'll become positive somehow.
I forgot to say that when they're talking, when Reese, Cassian, and Azrael are talking, Reese is like riled up.
Yeah.
And Cassian's kind of like, dude, do you want to go let out some energy? Shall we spar? And he's like, I got some energy to let out myself. Come like sexual tension energy. Yeah. And so then they go spar. Sorry. That was just probably, yeah.
But no, very excited.
Yeah.
Feelings?
Happy.
Yeah,
honestly,
very happy.
enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it too. This one's good. It's come back.
Fuck yeah.
Really good. And that leads us to baddies. If you are reading along with us, chapters. So if you're reading along, we are going up to chapter 40 next week.
Yeah, so 31 to 40.
Yeah. And thank you, everybody. We love you.
And stay bad.